I love this community.
On this episode of Jen and Friends, the story of Ginger.
Do you always feel so grateful that you could stay home?
Yes, no regrets. I'd do it again.
From stay-at-home mom to empty nester, Ginger and I look back at nearly 20 years of friendship. And as always, our conversation takes on a profound path.
I'm forever, my family's forever grateful to Estrella. What do we usually talk about?
Oh gosh, we just talk about everything. You know, my favorite conversation.
And that's what I enjoy with you, is that I can talk to you about anything. And we always have fun.
Yeah. Always ends up in laughter somehow, something fun.
Exactly.
Okay, well, first of all, I think we need a cheers.
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 Merry Christmas.
Yay. Okay, so I'm going to start with the easiest question first.
There's a hard question.
The easiest one. What is the
I'll
meaning?
fail.
What is the meaning of life?
Oh my God! Wow! How can you ask me that question? I'm like, I've been asking that question for years. What is the purpose of life? Love.
Yes.
Why were we put on this earth? I think, in a spiritual way, or explaining it, I think it's because we need to learn something here. We're put here. We signed up for it. I think we signed up for this life. This is voluntary. That, we have souls somewhere out there in the universe, and we signed up for life on earth. And what is it that we want to learn here? And I think it's love. Don't you think? What do you think?
I do too. I think it's just about trying to be a good person.
That's love.
And just being kind to other people and being understanding. I think it's just to try and make other people's lives a little bit better.
Yeah,
sometimes.
That's love, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay, we're done. Thank you. No.
That's it? All right,
bye. Ginger lives life. She keeps busy and active, and I wanted to know what keeps her in Goodyear, Arizona.
I really enjoyed those days when I went hiking. The Finns, there's quite a few hiking spots here in this area, but totally enjoyed those times. Just in general, it's just hanging out with all my friends and their families. Just really, really enjoy that. It makes me happy, and that's what really keeps me here. Otherwise, I'd be gone. Seriously. Before the fire, I was like, I'm moving to Verado because I get bored. I'm not a person who gets bored easy, and I need change. And so I was like, and then the fire happened, and all the support from my Estrella people, I'm like, oh my God, this is just a reminder that I love this community.
When our kids were little, Goodyear's population was just 35,000 residents. Now, nearly 20 years later, more than 100,000 people call Goodyear home.
So I just love it. And now it's changed. It's no longer that. It's kind of sad, I feel. But it is what it is.
What makes you sad? What part of it has changed would you move here today with the way Estrella is today?
Coming from San Francisco, yes. Yeah, I think so. Maybe not down the hill, but up here, because it's so beautiful in this bubble. I call it the bubble, Estrella bubble. It's just beautiful here. I love the community, the support, my friends. My friends are my families, like you.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's really the people here that you can depend on, you can count on, and just have fun with. And I think that's what I liked so much when we moved here. It was just instant friends, and
And it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not hard to make friends in Australia.
How did you decide to get into real estate?
Oh, God. Okay. So I wish I started back in the early 90s.
Really?
But we did, yes.
Why?
Because Michael and I, we've always wanted to fix homes. Circumstances we just did not get that chance to do it.
That all changed 7 years ago. Ginger found herself pursuing a dream of real estate after losing her family's home in a tragic Easter morning fire.
Now, my house burns down, and I'm sitting there crying, having a pity party, and I go, what am I going to do with our land? 'Cause or our haunted house. That's all. But I'm like, maybe this is the time for me to switch gears. I don't like what we were doing anyway. And I went online and I signed up for the class, for the real estate class, and I did it. And my first deal was my old land, my house, my old house. And that was a success. I sold in one day. And I said, I think I'm going to love this. That was easy peasy.
When you go back and you look at what prompted you to get into real estate,
Yeah.
I always tell Emma everything happens for a reason.
Me too. The fire was, period, meant to happen for a lot of reasons in my life. Friendship, like I know who my real friends are and who I can rely on. Just a lot of things. It's like a lesson for me. Like, okay. So it happened on Easter Eve, right? So it was a Saturday night. And I was planning on dinner with 3 other couples. That morning, I was looking for a centerpiece. It was a bunny centerpiece that I was going to use for the dining table. And I can't find it. I swear it was right there and no longer. And I said, oh my God, I was getting all angry and pissed off, because what on earth? Did someone come through our garage and steal this? I mean, it's not expensive, but I was getting all mad, right? And then that night, I lost everything. So that's a lesson. A huge lesson for me. Like, it was such a little material thing. It's just like a $30 item. Why was I so mad over that? And then I lost everything, including my dog. Now that hurt. And I feel that God has many times like try to, slap me and say, hey, that's not important. That's not important. And I wasn't listening. And finally, he's like, he probably took a 2x4 and went, whoo, now are you listening? Now you hear me? That's how I felt. Yeah. And I you know what, that worked. Because I did listen. I'm like, oh my God, why was I so worried over a $30 useless item? And then I can lose everything. But I'm grateful that I still have my family. We didn't get hurt, but I lost all the material stuff, all of it. Yeah. And that was a huge lesson. Look, I wasn't happy that my house burned down, but there were a lot of good things that eventually happened because of that. And one of those things is you came back to my life. You were the first person. I was on that couch, and I was just shocked. Like, this isn't happening. I'm in a dream. It's just not happening. And I just went into my little, because I just want to be in denial. And then you show up. Your face showed up. And you're like, Ginger. And I looked up and go, holy crap, it's Jen Barber. Like, where did you come from? I haven't seen you in years, right? Like, we lost touch for so long. And I'm like, and you said, what do you need? Like you always do. And I was like, I think I said, just find my dog. And you said, I got it. And you did. You did your magic or whatever, social media. But that fire brought our friendship back. And that's a good thing. Yes, it was really sad, but like you said, things are meant to happen, or things happen for a reason. Mm-hmm. The love that I got back from this community, and I feel I'm not giving enough back to this community, but they gave me everything, and I'm forever, my family's forever grateful to Estrella.
In the days and months after that early Easter morning fire, I began investigating fire response times in the city of Goodyear. As it turns out, the recommended 15 fire personnel to fight the blaze were not on scene until 14 minutes and 58 seconds into the alarm. That's nearly 6 minutes later than the national standard. I began the effort to advocate for more fire services in the city of Goodyear. Goodyear City Council authorizes spending of thousands of taxpayer dollars to conduct a fire study. The study resulted in the city moving up the timeline for Estrella's second fire station.
Long story short, we have that second station now. So
I know. Thank you.
During a mayoral campaign forum in summer 2022, Joe Pizzillo was asked about fire service response times.
15 to 20 years ago, Goodyear's average response time for fire calls was 4 minutes. Today, just 2 of Goodyear's 7 fire stations respond with an average of 6 minutes or less, and 1 station has an average response time of 12 minutes and 45 seconds.
4 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes. Time matters.
12 minutes can do a lot of damage. A lot of damage.
But no, that's not our goal. Our goal is to keep it within 4 minutes. But unfortunately, right now, how we're spread out on some of these, it's going to take us a while to meet all those needs. But it is a top priority of the city. So whoever asked that question, I'll let you know that it is a priority of mine to ensure that our first responders have all of the resources they need to do their job.
4 minutes, I think my dog would still be alive. I'm not putting blame on anyone. I don't want to do that. I mean, they were awesome, the fire department. So I don't want to put any blame on anyone. It's just unfortunate what had happened.
So it kind of gets back to this whole growth thing. I mean, the traffic, you cannot get down the hill in 10 to 15 minutes anymore.
And we haven't even reached half of our goal here, right?
In the city, right now, the city is only 11% built out. So imagine all the extra growth going on. How does that make you feel?
Well, we need more fire stations. We need to expand with the growth.
All those years ago, I asked the city to slow down growth until it could catch up with fire service. Well, this week, I found myself asking the same question.
As far as the 4-minute response times, more money for fire stations and more money for response times would be of great help. And hopefully the state working on things down there at the legislature will not take some of our funding away that goes towards that. So I appreciate that. And again, you're right. I am for reduced bus.
Goodyear Fire is scheduled to onboard additional fire stations in the next few years. I urge you to reach out to the city to advocate for those services which matter most to you. And as for my good friend Ginger,
oh, I don't know. What else can we talk about?
She's in a good place, in a beautiful new home, and we still have a lot to ponder.
Well, let's just start there. Do you believe in angels?
I do. Do you believe in angels?
We'll catch you next time on part 2 with Ginger on the Jen and Friends podcast.